Hi guys, it's Beth. Welcome to my channel. I had one more scrapbook page that I wanted to do from this perfect princess collection, and so I went ahead and decided to film it since there were a few of you that did want to see that. And I'm using a sketch for this page, and I will leave the sketch linked in the description box below. I have 4 photos for my layout, and even though I trimmed them down, I thought I had them so that they would fit across this 12 by 12 piece of cardstock that I have, but I apparently somehow missed something, and I need to trim that photo on the far right down a little bit more. And it will be overlap, like it's going to lay underneath that larger photo there, but I needed to trim enough off the right hand side so that Ellie would still be in full view even once I slid it, under that bigger photo. So I do have all my photos matted on just some white cardstock, and I just wanted it to pop off of the pink a little bit. The cardstock I'm using is just Recollections 12 by 12, and it's from one of their cardstock pads, the jewel tone one maybe. And I do apologize for the glare of my light going across the photos. That's one of the downsides of doing the scrapbook page layouts, is the glare from my lighting. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere all of my photos down, and I did leave one of the photos larger, the one that was kind of in the center there. I did leave it larger because that is going to be my focal photo, and so I left it with a little bit larger mat as well, just so it will stand out a lot better. So I pull in my ruler here just to make sure I'm lining up my photos as much as I can there. And then I'm going to take that larger one and line it up with the top of the other photos just so it hangs down like across that bottom line. So I'm pulling in this princess pattern here, and I only had a scrap of it left. And so I just trimmed it down to make it look like it's going all the way, behind that bigger photo there. And then I am just using a couple inches off of the crown paper here. And we'll add that to the bottom of the photo mats. And when I go to adhere it down, I am going to try and tuck it up under there just a little bit. So before I truly adhere everything, like I have added adhesive on the back of my photos, but I haven't actually pressed them down, so I can still lift them up to slide my paper underneath. I could easily pull them up and move them around if I needed to. And then I'm trying to figure out the placement of all my papers and my little title piece there before I adhere all those other elements down. I pulled in one of the 3x4 cut apart cards that says "You Are Princess," and I just trimmed it down so that the "You Are Princess" was kind of the main thing there. I got rid of the excess yellow because I'm going to use the "You Are Princess" as my title. I am all about using easy titles. And then I was looking for a piece of pattern paper. I was hoping to be able to use one of the border stickers, or maybe one of the border pattern, the border cut apart patterns. There's a decorative edge border that goes across the bottom. So I'm just pulling in a border punch that I have in my stash, and this one, it's a kind of a fancier scalloped. I'm not sure how you want to describe that, but I am just taking my strip all the way across and adding that decorative edge, and then I will put that at the bottom of the layout there as the kind of decorative edge piece, just to finish off that pattern paper grouping that I'm using. So I am adhering the pattern paper down, and like I said, I want to slide it up underneath the pattern paper just a little bit. And so once I get it worked in, then I can go ahead and press that down. And I'm also going to be sliding in the princess paper up. I'm going to be sliding it underneath that larger focal photo there. So you can see that I was able to move that one around pretty easily just because I haven't gone through and pressed it all down. So now I've got that bottom part down, but I realized I needed to get my decorative edge border on there first. And here I'm just using some art glitter glue just because it's a smaller piece. Thought that would be easier. And I'm going to push this one right up against the bottom of that crown paper that I had. And now I can slide in that last piece of the princess paper. Straighten up my focal photo there. And here I'm using the sleeve of my sweatshirt to kind of push everything down, rub it down really good, and also buff out some of the fingerprints that might be on there. So now I get to go through and embellish and figure out where I want to put all of the fun elements. So there were a couple of stickers that I knew I wanted to use up on this layout just because I couldn't figure out, I don't think they would be great for cards, and it's because they reference daughter. Like one says my favorite princess is my daughter, and then there was another one that just said daughter. I decided that I wanted to pop up that you are a princess piece a little bit. So when I pulled the cardstock off of the back of that picture that was on the far right, that was still sitting on my desk, and so it was torn a little bit, but I still thought I could salvage it enough to use it on the back of this I'm a Princess piece just to add a little bit of dimension on it so that it kind of sits up above the photos. So I use my art glitter glue to put it on and burnish it down, and then I do have to go in and add a little bit of glue to, like, the layer kind of peeled a little bit. So I had to add some glue to fix that, and then could add the glue to add that down. And then I'm just going to set my border punch on there to hold it in place for a while I figure out what else I want to add to my layout. This has been a really fun collection, and luckily, you know, my girls are princesses, so I've been able to take advantage of this collection for a bunch of layouts, which has been really nice. So here I'm just trying to figure out, I know I want to add just a little bit of journaling, and so I was looking to see if any of the journal cards that were left would work, or if I wanted to use any of those journal cards for, like, just another decorative element. And then there are some, like, hearts and flowers and other little pieces that I'm trying to work on to this layout as well. And then here you can see I'm playing with, it's actually that yellow is actually what I trimmed off of that You're a Princess journal card. So I decided to go ahead and try and incorporate that in some way for my journaling. I went ahead and put my just a little bit of journaling that I wanted to do on that larger strip of the yellow, and then I'm going to bring in at least one other of the two pieces that are left over to add the date of, like, or the time frame of the photos. And I like that just because it helps carry that yellow through. There is yellow in the crown paper and yellow in the strip there. And I just wanted to show you that I use this Marks a Lot pen for most of my scrapbook journaling, and they are from Avery brand, and so I will include a link to those as well because I have a 3-pack and they're fine point, which I really like, and they've been great for journaling. So I'm glad I was able to find those. So here I'm just kind of going through and pulling out some of the hearts that coordinate with the princesses. And then I have that little tab at the top. And this simple layout is complete. But thank you guys so much for your time today. I hope you enjoyed this last layout, and stay tuned for some cards to come soon.